This is a demonstration of our new feature called Member Connections. It is for members only, members of the California Genealogical Society. And this is being brought to you by the website team, which is made up of myself, Chris Patillo, Teresa Murphy, and John Rolls. Over several months, we banged our head against this software to make it do what we wanted it to do. And what this is about is helping CGS be more of a society. We have about 900 members, and a lot of times I don't know who any of you are. I knew a handful. I'm a former board member, and so I know people from the board and from other activities, but there's a lot of people I don't know. So this idea is so that everyone can have a profile on our website telling us about yourself, about your genealogical interests, about your genealogical expertise, and therefore we can find each other. If I'm looking for somebody who is also researching in Nicaragua like I do, or is interested in lineage societies or whatever other interests there might be, now I have a tool to go search and see who else at CGS is doing that, and now we can connect. So it's a perfect name of Member Connections. So I am going to now start the demonstration and by showing you how you can get started making your profile. So for your CGS members, you can log in to the website, which is right here. And by logging in, not only do you get to Member Connections, but you can also see past nuggets, our newsletters, our other publications, and other features that are for members only. So it's a good idea to log in from time to time and see what's going on. So click on the login button. And then here, now mine are already preset because I've logged in, but yours is going to be a 5-digit number, generally a 5-digit number for you to be able to log into the website. Mine happens to be 13139. That's my CGS membership number. Don't use that. Use your own. If you don't know your member number, you can contact membership at californiaancestors.org. That's in your handout. Contact membership, and they will give you your member number. And then the second box is your password. And that's your personal password. CGS does not know what that is. So for tonight's purposes, though, I'm going to log in under a different login. Again, we as the developers of this software have another login that we can use, and I'm going to use that for tonight. So I've logged in, and you can tell that you're logged in because now it says log out. Before this used to say log in, now it says log out. So that's one indicator that shows you that you are logged into the website. And we're going to go to Member Connections. Member Connections is found under the Member menu, and we go right here to Member Connections. I click on that, and what's going to come up is the landing page. The landing page gives you more information about Member Connections, starting with this, just a cute little introduction about the purpose of what Member Connections is all about. If this is the first time that you are setting up your profile, you're going to see this. This is our privacy policy and terms of service agreement. And you can scroll here and you can see and read what are the privacy policies and terms of service. We're basically asking everyone to be respectful of everyone else on Member Connections. No foul language, no insults, just have friendly communication with each other. This is also not a product to be used for commercial purposes, meaning, you're not going to spam everybody on the site, selling your potholders or whatever it might be. There's a certain purpose for Member Connections, and we want to continue in a respectful environment where everyone is using it for the right purpose. If you agree with all of that and you would like to set up your profile, click I agree with a privacy policy. Once you do that, you can start your profile. The other areas of the landing page, the Member Connections landing page, is getting started. And you would, it talks about logging in and how you can get started with your profile, set up or edit your profile. And that's where we're going to spend a lot of time tonight, is right here in setting up your profile. And then you can also search for other members, find other members. And the last section here is if you need help. If you need help or you have a question about Member Connections, either, I don't know how to do this, I'm not sure where I put this information, how do I answer this question, whatever it might be, click here on Member Connections, and that will start an email. That email currently comes to me, but it can come to anyone on the website development team to help you with whatever question you might need. And I'll try to answer those in 24 hours if I can. So again, Member Connections, just an introduction. Your privacy policy and terms of service, please check that box and read the privacy policy and terms of service. Start your own profile, search for other members, and then if you need help, you can email us right here. Okay, I've already started my profile. So I'm going to switch to showing you my profile. We're going to start there. We're going to go to this section here, which is set up or edit your profile. And I have my profile already loaded here. Here's my profile, and you can see there's my name. I've uploaded a photograph of myself. And here in the About section, you can see a couple of things, a couple of questions that I've answered. Actually, I've answered all the questions that we have posted so far. What is your profession or skill set pre and post retirement? I work in health information technology currently. I used to be a physician. What is your level of genealogical expertise? I put intermediate. Are you a professional genealogist? Yes, and so forth. You can see the questions, and we'll run through those a little bit more. But that's my profile. With the profile, we have several questions that we as a team came up with about gathering information about you and your interests in genealogy, things that other people would also going to want to know about, ways that we can all connect. How do you set up your own profile? And I'm going to come back to these messages in a little while. So I see that one right there, but I'll come back to that. You set up your profile by going to the gear. And you should, if this is the first time you're logging in, it's the first time you've accepted the terms of service, you should be seeing a completely blank profile. But mine is already filled out. So I'm going to go to the gear and go to Edit Profile. And once that launches, you'll see the same features, but slightly differently, in that I now can edit things. That will be where I put in the answers to all of these questions. Like, what are your other interests in genealogy? I have Catholic records, Civil War, colonial USA, Jewish, Mayflower. What countries do you research? Canada, Nicaragua, Sweden, United Kingdom, United States. So here, my edit mode is now loaded. And you can see now over my photo is an icon of a camera. So if I click on this, I can either change my photo or load a photo for the first time. Here, it says, tell us a bit about yourself. I can write an entire paragraph here about myself, started genealogy, and I can also spell correctly at age 15, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I could write an entire paragraph if I wanted to. Anything that you put into your profile is searchable. So if I were to put a lot of details about myself here, someone who's searching for a specific term might find you because you wrote that about yourself. So remember, if you want to be found, put in as much detail as possible that people are going to be interested in searching for. So the first question is, what is your profession and skill set? And this is a free type. There's no drop down on this. You just type as you need to. What is your level of genealogical expertise? This is a drop down. When I click on it, you'll see there are 3 options: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. You can choose your own. Are you a professional genealogist? Yes or no? Do you belong to other genealogical organizations? And there are several hundred genealogical organizations, obviously. We couldn't list all of them. It would just be too much of a drain on the form. So we listed some of the major ones. And if you have others, you can click on Other, and this box will appear. And so you can start saying what other societies or what other genealogical organizations you are a member of, if you don't see it listed amongst those 5. And this is also just a free type. So Ohio Genealogical Society. Which CGS special interest groups are you interested in? And these are our current CGS SIGs, and you can just click on which ones you might be interested in. May we contact you about volunteering at CGS? Yes or no? May we contact you about upcoming CGS classes or SIGs? And this is a tool that CGS might be using. If you select here that you're interested in these certain countries or this kind of research, these kinds of topics, if we have an upcoming class on that country or an upcoming class on that topic, we may search the member connections to see, well, who's interested in that? And we may send you an email so that you know that that class is coming up. And are you willing to help others with their research? And this is an important question to pay attention to when you're searching other people's profiles as well. If you do come across someone who has many like interests to yours, but they're not willing to help, then you may think before you be mindful about contacting them. What are your other interests in genealogy? This is also a drop-down list where if I click here, you can see that the list comes up and I can scroll and I can just see what are the options here. And I can just select some things like Quakers. You can also just start typing. So if we do Presbyterian, Presbyterian comes up and I click on it. This is not a field where it's going to accept just a random thing that you might type. So you're gonna, you're interested in Cro-Magnon. It's not going to take it. It's not going to allow you to do that. It has to be something from the list. What countries do you research? And this is a very extensive country list. We have many, many countries on the planet. So you should find the country that you're looking for here. What states in the United States do you research? All 50 of them will be there. Just select from the drop-down list. Now, within a state, obviously, we research within counties and then within municipalities. That, again, would be much too large of a list for our little forum and website here. So even though you're saying you research in Massachusetts, you'd also want to be more detailed about which counties and possibly which municipalities you research within Massachusetts. Though we don't have a drop-down list for that, we do have this last box here. Tell us specifics about the countries, other geographic areas, or your research interests that have not been detailed in other questions above. So here you can start talking about which counties specifically you research, what municipalities, or what other very specific details that you want to be known for, that a search of the member database is going to find you for other people. What surnames do you research? This again is a free text box. You can type in as many names as you wish. And obviously with genealogy, they double every generation. So that can be a very long list. You'll have to figure out which ones are the more important ones for you to list. Which are the ones that you want to be found by other members to connect on. What language do you read, write, or speak? And this is helpful, especially if you're willing to help other people. They may come to you with a question about this Spanish document that I have, and could you translate it, or could you answer what's the gist of this Spanish document, or whatever other language you might speak. What genealogical tools do you use? I use Roots Magic, 23andMe, News, Family Search, and these others. And obviously there are hundreds of genealogical tools in the world. We can't list all of them. So you can click on other, and here you can start typing newspapers.com or whatever other tool you might be using. Then finally, as I mentioned before, there's this catch-all. Down here, there's just, you can start writing everything and anything that you want to say about yourself. What are your other interests? You know, this is a little bit duplicative of writing a biography about yourself, but here we just intend this to be more about yourself, your interests, your development in genealogy, how you came to the profession or the hobby. Whereas this down here is what specifically are you researching and interested in. Once you are satisfied with all the questions, and obviously you don't have to do this all in one sitting, you can come back as many times as you want to edit your profile, put in new information, change information, you know, say that you feel like you've really felt like you've done everything you can on the Cardosa line. And so you want to maybe take that off and put in another name there so that people can find you and you can start collaborating on a new name. Or you've changed which special interest group you're a member of. Or you've joined Mayflower as well as the Roots Magic one. Come back as many times as you want and keep your profile updated. You might be in the habit of doing this every time that you renew with CGS. Every time that you renew your membership, have in mind that, okay, I'm going to go and look at my profile. What did I write a year ago, 2 years ago, or however long it's been since you renewed your membership, and keep your profile updated for other members to find you. Once that is all said and done, you're happy with it, click Update Profile. Your profile is now part of the Member Connections database. And you come back to this screen where you can see now what you put in. And the changes I had done is I had put in Quakers and Presbyterians as new options here. So you can see that I updated that. Here I put in newspapers.com. Here I put Mayflower Descendants. That was also new. I put in Ohio Genealogical Society. So you can see all of the changes that I just did in front of you are now reflected in my profile. And people can find me on all of those terms. So we're going to go back to the gear. So we did the gear, we did edit profile, and that's where we just spent the last few minutes in answering those questions. But you can also go to my account, and I just clicked on my account, and in that you have some functionality to manage your account on the CGS website. So here's your account username that you cannot change. As you see, as I mouse over it, I get that international no symbol, so it will not let me change it, which makes sense. We don't want you changing your numbers. This is how we know you in the database. But you can change your name. You can change your surname. You can change the email address. Say that, you know, this is, you're using your CGS email, but you'd really rather use your Gmail, or you'd rather use your work email for this particular project. Go ahead, you can do that. And here's where you can change your password. Change password is just a simple thing. It's the same thing. And then privacy. You can hide your profile from the directory. So if you filled out a profile, but maybe you want to take a break, or you just decided not to participate after all, you can come here into your account under privacy and say, hide my profile from the directory, yes. So now you're not going to be found on any searches. Hopefully not too many people do that, because the more people that participate in member connections, the more people that we have to find, the more people that we have to collaborate. So hopefully all 900 members of CGS will fill out a profile at some point. Who can send me private messages? Everyone or nobody? Those are our two options right now. So if you don't want to receive any messages, you can come here and say nobody. You can still have your directory available and people can find you, but they won't be able to message you. You can download your data. Anything that you have put into your personal profile, you can download that. You put in your password and then hit request data and it will be sent to you. Or you could also erase all of your data. Put in your password and hit request data erase, and that should erase your profile on Member Connections. You can then click update your privacy policies. And then finally is notifications, is that when someone sends you a private message, that you want an email to be sent to you. And I think that's a very helpful feature. Otherwise, you would need to be logging into Member Connections every day, every week, every month to see if there are messages waiting for you. But if someone does message you, it makes sense that the system will then send you an email directly to your inbox. And I have in the handout on the second to the last, or it's actually on the last page, the second to the last screen, you'll see an example of what that email looks like in your inbox, where I'm going to pull it up here, right here. You say, hi, Stuart. Chris Patillo has just sent you a new private message on California Genealogical Society. And there's a link. So if I click on this link, it'll take me to Chris's message and I can read it. So let's go and do that now. So I've shown you how to set up your profile and also how to set up your account settings for privacy, your username, your email preferences, and such. All of that is under the gear. But now that we're done, we're set up, we're ready to go, our profile is loaded and it's searchable, let's go do some searching. So back to the landing page where you go from members, member connections. We did your profile and set up your profile and we clicked on the gear. Now we're going to go to searching other members, find other members with similar interests by searching our database. And so that is on this tab right here. So this is what the member interest database or member connections looks like. And you can just see people who have loaded their profiles, and some people have loaded their photos as well with some shiny, happy photographs. I love it. But we're going to do some searching. And there's a couple of ways to search. First is with filters. And if you see, I just clicked right here and it gives me these filters, these 5 filters. What countries do you research? So if we say, let's see, what are we looking for? Let's see people who research in the Republic of Ireland. So there are these 5 filters and we can search by country. So this is all the countries that people have put into their profiles will be shown here. Not every country on the list, which is nice. So here are our results for what countries do you research? Ireland, Republic of, we get 8 members. And we can see their profiles here. We can also then search for states. And what I was just about to say here on the country list, as well as all of these lists, this only shows what members have actually selected. So we're not going to see all 50 states here unless our participating members have actually selected all 50 states through, through everyone who's participating. Somebody chose every single state. Otherwise, we'd only see the states that were selected. Same as with countries. Um, Australia is on the list because somebody actually chose Australia. So there is someone. It's not like you're going to choose Australia and get 0 results. You will get at least 1 result because at least one person has selected it. I like that feature. What are your other interests in genealogy? We have adoption, African American, Asian American, cartography. So somebody has chosen these topics. So there is someone who is interested in naturalization and military records. You will get results by clicking on those filters. Your level of expertise, we have beginners, intermediates, and advanced. All 3 have been selected. And are you a professional genealogist? Yes and no. You can also do a combination of these filters. So if I said, are you a professional genealogist, and said yes, so now we're looking for people who are researching the Republic of Ireland and are professional genealogists, and we get 0 results. We know that there are 8 people researching in the Republic of Ireland, but none of those 8 people are professionals, which is all fine. So I just hit clear all. It cleared all of my filters. We can also do searches. As I said, every single field on Member Connections is searchable. So I know I typed in I have the last name of Cardosa as one of my surnames that I search. So if I typed in Cardosa, I wanted to see who else might be using that name. We get 1 member, and it's me. So I am the only person who is researching the name Cardosa so far. As more people fill in their profiles, hopefully we will get more people, more collaboration opportunities. Not Irish, but Ireland. What if we did Ireland and hit search? And I would see 16 members because we're now seeing both the Republic of Ireland and North Ireland. And so these are people who are researching North Ireland. And I want to contact one of them. So I'm going to go and see what Keith Montgomery is doing in Ireland. And so I just, as you saw, those are the results of the members who match my search. And now I've clicked on someone's profile, and I am now looking at someone else's profile. I'm not looking at my own anymore. I'm looking at someone else's, and I'm looking at Keith Montgomery, who has given me permission to do this with his profile tonight. And so I know that he worked in hotels, and he's an enthusiastic traveler. And he does research North Ireland, Scotland, and the United States. He's researching in Alabama, North Carolina, Texas, and Virginia. And so he also uses Roots Magic like I do. That's cool. We have some things that we can talk about. He's also a member of the CGS Special Interest Group for Irish Ancestors. So all of that looks great. I want to contact him. Because I think that we have enough in common that we can collaborate on our Irish interests. So here in Keith's profile, I click this message button because I want to message him. And we've already messaged each other a little bit. So you see our prior history, but pretend that's not there. Pretend I've never contacted Keith, and I just want to say, hi, I think we could work together on Ireland, or whatever you want to say, whatever introduction, however much detail you want to give, and hit send a message. Now, Keith is going to get an email in his inbox saying that Stuart Blundone Trayman has just messaged you on this California Genealogical website. Log in to see his message. So we go back to my profile. I want to go back to just update notifications. And I want to go back to here, view profile. That's what I wanted. View profile here to get me back out of my account settings. And I wanted to get back to this message button that I had shown you before. On this message button in my profile, when I click on that, I can see the messages that were previously sent to me. My entire message history for Member Connections is going to be there. And remember, there was a little red 1 on here when we first started, letting me know that a message was waiting. Well, that message was actually from Keith Montgomery. And so now that I actually clicked on it, the little 1 went away because I had read it. And so I've received messages from Keith Montgomery, from Chris Patillo, Teresa Murphy. And we can see our whole message history here. You had seen these before. And what I wrote tonight was, hi, I think we can work together on Ireland. So your entire message history is here under this button. And you can see all of the conversations that you've had with other members. Just a quick to talk about posts and comments. Now, because this Member Connections is integrated into our CGS website, what these are about are posts that you've done on our blog. So Jennifer Dix or other people who write for the blog may see the posts that they've done. Or if you've commented on any of our blog posts, your comment history will be here. So a lot of us aren't going to have posts or comments, but that just to explain what those two buttons do. This is about blogging, posts and comments. What we're going to be doing is about, to get to your profile, and about messages to see who's contacted you about Member Connections. Once you're all done, you can log out, but you don't really have to log out, but you can log out. If you don't log out, the system's going to log you out anyway. But I just went ahead and logged out. And I can still see my profile. But I just can't get into that edit mode. I don't have the gear here to get into my edit modes to change my answers unless I log in. That's how I will see the gear. Again, the more people we get on this tool, the more collaborative opportunities we're going to have. We have over 50 profiles on the site so far.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Let's make it 100. Let's make it 200 and keep on going.
We appreciate everyone attending.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, everybody. Then good night.